You're watching HTV.
From the studios of ITN, the news and sport, with Katie Derham and Graham Miller.
Good evening, welcome to the programme. The headlines tonight. Tory MEP caught smuggling drugs and pornography says, I've no plans to resign. Glenn Hoddle says sorry, but claims disabled comments were taken out of context.
And in sport, it's a fairy tale in Dublin as Ulster lifts the European Cup.
A Conservative member of the European Parliament admitted tonight he'd been fined for bringing cannabis and gay pornography into Britain. Tom Spencer, a married father of three, said it'd been an act of insanity, but he said he had no plans to resign. John Draper reports.
Tory MEP Tom Spencer, here with his wife Elizabeth today, was fined by customs at Heathrow after 2 cannabis cigarettes and a gay pornographic video were found in his bag. He says that bringing them into the country was an act of insanity.
I went for a weekend in Amsterdam. While I was there, I was given some drugs which were I should have thrown away, but I didn't. I wasn't concentrating. I'm not a drug user. Like I suppose all children of the 1960s, unlike President Clinton, I did inhale, but it's not central to my life.
Mrs. Spencer says she's always accepted his homosexuality.
When we decided that we also wished to marry, we talked through the consequences of living a life and having a family where he was also gay, and we believed we could make it work. And I have to say, I believe we have.
In the Tory party, Tom Spencer's hardly a top name. Here, Sir Edward Heath shared a platform with him at a pro-Europe party meeting. His behaviour is bound to embarrass the Tories, but he insists he has no plans to resign his seat as an MEP.
It's entirely up to the party. The legal process is completed. I've been completely honest about the personal circumstances. I'll just wait for the judgment of my party.
Tonight, the Conservative chairman issued a statement saying that Mr. Spencer's case would be referred to the party's ethics committee. But in the present anti-sleaze atmosphere, a politician fined for both drugs and pornography will come under intense pressure to stand down. John Draper, ITN, Westminster.
Church leaders have tonight added their voice to the criticism of the England soccer coach, Glenn Hoddle, for his reported comments about disabled people. Today's Times newspaper quotes him as saying people born with disabilities are paying for sins in a previous life. But Hoddle claims the quotes have been taken out of context. Sue Saville reports.
Glenn Hoddle says he's sorry if he's offended disabled people, but denies saying what the Times quotes as, "You and I have been physically given 2 hands and 2 legs and half-decent brains. Some people have not been born like that for a reason. The karma is working from another lifetime."
It's been taken out of context completely. It was a football interview that I did, of which went and varied off on some other sort of tangent, and to be honest, they've misinterpreted it, turned it upside down.
But church leaders are outraged at the reported comments.
It's a very un-Christian idea. Firstly, God values people with disability. Secondly, Jesus made it very clear that whatever disability we may have, and none of us is perfect, it has nothing to do with God punishing us for our sins.
The Football Association is backing Glenn Hoddle. A spokesman said he's an excellent supporter of disabled sport. But the row about Hoddle's reported remarks looks like overshadowing his announcement of the New England squad on Thursday. Sue Saville, ITN at FA headquarters, Lancaster Gate.
The former Welsh Secretary, Ron Davies, is tonight celebrating a boost to his political fight back. He's been selected as a Labour candidate for the new Welsh Assembly by party members in his Caerphilly constituency. Mr Davies had resigned from government over what he described as an error of judgment on Clapham Common. NATO has tonight formally authorised airstrikes in Yugoslavia if it deems them necessary to force peace talks over the Kosovo. Earlier, the Foreign Secretary Robin Cook went to Belgrade to deliver NATO's ultimatum in person to the Yugoslav President Slobodan Milosevic. John Brain reports.
While the refugees from the fighting in Kosovo continue to wait for an opportunity to return home, the international community has been stepping up the diplomatic pressure on their behalf. Today, the British Foreign Secretary personally delivered a blunt message from NATO to the Yugoslav President Slobodan Milosevic to begin negotiations or face airstrikes.
Was firm and clear about that message, which is that we require both sides to take part in talks within the next week and try and reach conclusions within the next 3 weeks.
Mr Cook then travelled to Macedonia, where he repeated NATO's demands to the Albanians. So far, reaction from both sides has been lukewarm, but tonight NATO has cleared the way for military action.
Let me stress, if these demands are not met, NATO is ready to take whatever measures are necessary.
Both sides in the conflict now have until February the 6th to negotiate or risk testing the sincerity of the NATO ultimatum. John Brain, ITN.
Now with all the day's sports news, here's Graham Miller.
Newcastle ended Aston Villa's hopes of returning to the top of the Premiership with a 2-1 win at St James's Park. Alan Shearer was among their scorers. It was Shearer's first league goal for 4 months as Villa's title hopes took another knock. Meanwhile, Villa have revealed that their troubled striker Stan Collymore has been admitted to a clinic to help solve his problems with stress. At the other end of the table, 3 of the bottom 4 clubs all won, with Nottingham Forest picking up their first victory in 19 league games. Pierre van Hooijdonk got the only goal of the game at Everton as big Ron Atkinson begins to cast his magic spell. Southampton recorded their best win of the season and in some style against in-form Leeds. Egil Ostenstad wrapped things up with the Saints' third goal down at the Dell. While Coventry also pulled off a surprise win against Liverpool, Noel Whelan's strike helped the Midlanders take all the points. So Chelsea remain top on goal difference from Villa. They play their game in hand at Arsenal tomorrow. And with Manchester United meeting Charlton on Sunday, Villa could drop to third by this time tomorrow night. In Scotland, 2 goals in the last 4 minutes helped Rangers beat Aberdeen at Pittodrie. Alberts and Kanchelskis ensured Rangers' 4-2 victory that takes them 9 points clear of Kilmarnock. Third place Celtic play St Johnstone tomorrow at Parkhead. Now thousands of Ulster rugby fans are celebrating in Dublin after their side defied all the odds to win the European Cup. Lansdowne Road was a sea of red and white as Ulster beat the French side Colomiers 21-6 in the European Cup final. Our Ireland correspondent John Irvine reports.
The Ulster invasion of Dublin saw more than 40,000 supporters make the journey south. Ulster's exploits have inspired people from both traditions and both sides of the border, and in unprecedented numbers they came to witness the final chapter of a hoped-for sporting fairy tale. Until this season, Ulster's European record was played 12, lost 10. But against the French in particular, they've enjoyed a renaissance. On their way here, they beat Toulouse and Stade Francais, and in a final they never looked like losing, they dominated Colomiers. Again, Gaelic flair was stifled, Ulster's forwards created the opportunities, and their fullback Simon Mason gave another display of precision kicking. In the end, they ran out winners 21 points to 6. Ulster are the new champions of Europe. After years of waiting, Irish rugby fans have again got something to celebrate, and the province of Ulster will have international recognition for once, for all the right reasons. John Irvine, ITN, Dublin.
Finally, tennis, and Martina Hingis is celebrating her 3rd consecutive singles title at the Australian Open. The world number 2 comfortably beat the unseeded Frenchwoman Amélie Mauresmo in straight sets, 6-2, 6-3. It was Hingis' 21st win in a row at Melbourne and brought her a 5th Grand Slam singles title.
Finally, the winning numbers in tonight's National Lottery draw. They are 9, 19, 32, 37, 40 and 44. The bonus number is 47 and the jackpot stands at almost £8 million. That's it from ITN for now. From Graham and me, have a very good evening.
Good night.
Good evening, plenty of variety in our weather at the moment. Most of us today under a shroud of cloud, and down in the southeast it was particularly cold, no higher than 2 Celsius in Margate. But the east of Scotland is a place to be this weekend. Unbroken sunshine. Inverness, a relatively scorching 11 and more to come tomorrow. But tonight many places cloudy and misty and murky, some fog up over the high ground, a bit of patchy drizzle here or there. Most places on the mild side, but on the eastern side of the country, fairly chilly, 2 or 3 Celsius at lowest. Now tomorrow, more of the same, so a lot of cloud again, I'm afraid, for many parts. Thick enough to give the odd spot of drizzle, most places dry, a lot of mist and fog up over the high ground. There will be some sunny chinks, especially in the north And again, eastern parts of Scotland seeing a lot of sunshine, we think, and that means it will be quite warm, 11 or 12 Celsius, quite possibly 12 is 54 Fahrenheit with very light winds. Elsewhere, well, certainly on the mild side, 9 or 10 typically, but again, like today, the southeast corner, coldest of all, 5 or 6 Celsius at best, 6 is 43 Fahrenheit. That's it from me. I'll leave you with tomorrow's weather summary.
Power, Jen. Power, whatever the weather.